All right, I think we're live. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to everyone who's joining us online, and welcome to this live episode of Abu Bakr. Assalamu alaikum, Abu Bakr, welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you for having me.
Jazakallah khair everyone for your patience. We were a few minutes past the time that we set, but we've started just after sort of 9 p.m., which is, I think, pretty decent. Alhamdulillah, given the circumstances, given that we're joining across the seven seas. Abu Bakr, how are you?
Good. Feeling a little bit queasy today. It's been a very rough day. The winds are very, very strong. The waves are very, very strong today. I'm literally using all my power to keep this phone as straight as I can, but the boat is literally moving like this. It's quite intense right now.
Subhanallah. Can you tell me where you are at the moment?
So I am near Italy, in the middle of the ocean. We're making our way to meet the rest of the flotilla that have left from Barcelona, Tunis, and Italy. Inshallah, we're going to meet up in international waters, and then we're going to a big throat across the kitchen right now.
Oh my God.
We're going to meet up with the rest of the flotilla from Greece.
Okay, so there's people coming from Greece. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, alhamdulillah.
Okay, so there's people coming from Greece. There's people coming from a few countries. I don't know how much we need to speak about the background of the flotilla, because I assume everyone knows quite a bit. Alhamdulillah, Abu Bakr, for those who don't know, is one of our young brothers from Sydney, Australia, who has decided to join the Freedom Flotilla. The Freedom Flotilla, we know, is an initiative, the latest of many initiatives that have tried to break the siege on Gaza. The genocide goes on, but alongside the genocide, we have a siege on Gaza where the people are being starved. Aid is not allowed to enter. For 20 years, people can't get any aid in. And this isn't the first attempt. This is one of many attempts to break the siege, to deliver aid into Gaza. Some of those have been successful in some ways. Some of them have been successful in others. Some have made it to Gaza, some haven't. I think the very first attempt made it into Gaza. But now we keep trying, and we have 1,000 people reportedly on the Freedom Flotilla at the moment making their way across. And Abu Bakr, you're one of the people who's decided to join from Australia. Tell me how many Aussies are on board with you?
So first, I want to apologize if I request to ask your question again. Obviously, I'm in the middle of the ocean, so internet's not the best, but I'll try my best. I picked up most of the question. So there are about 8 Aussies, including myself, who are on this flotilla. We also have a decently large ground team as well, about making, I think, 15 people from ground. They support from ground.
Okay. And how about the rest of the flotilla? Who else is on board with you guys? Who else is on the mission?
Yep. So we have a wide range of people that are part of the mission. We have prominent figures such as Greta Thunberg. We have MPs. We have activists, journalists. We have journalists from the Middle East Eye, from Al Jazeera. There are scientists. There are mothers. There are fathers. There are long life standing activists. There are ex-US veterans as well who are on this flotilla. So it's a very, very diverse group, but we all share the same goal of wanting to bring an end to this brutal genocide, this brutal occupation of Palestine, and we want to liberate that land as soon as we possibly can.
Subhanallah, we've seen, the genocide that's been happening for 2 years, and I think the emotion that you've described is something that we all feel. This desire to just want to see things end in Gaza, this genocide, the starvation, the killing, the bombing. And to be honest with a lot of us, there's a lot of talk, and often there's not a lot of action. We take some action. There might be protests, there might be other things, but taking the flotilla and boarding alongside other people isn't an easy step to take. Can you talk me through? We might go through your journey, your story, how you ended up on board, and we'll talk through your experiences so far. What made you decide to make the jump and join?
So I was in Malaysia earlier this year, and I met up with a charity called Cinta Gaza. And while I was there, they told me about this initiative. They run their own Sumud Flotilla, which is the south They control like the self delegations that are part of the flotilla. They told me about this, and I was like, it was a no-brainer for me, an absolute no-brainer to be a part of this. Any opportunity to support the Palestinian cause, to alleviate the suffering, it's a no-brainer for anyone with an ounce of humanity. So I applied. There were over 26,000 people worldwide that applied. Alhamdulillah, I don't know how, but I got accepted. I was actually speaking to the Australian team, and I'm the only person that got selected from Australia who has no sailing experience. So it really feels like a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I'm very, very honored and very, I guess, I feel like I have to do a duty for this role, not just for myself, but for my community back home, for the people of Palestine, but also for the entirety of the Ummah.
Did you have much doubts going in? Like, did you question yourself? Did it take much thinking to decide to just go?
For me, it was like I just knew I wanted to go straight away. As soon as I got that acceptance letter, it wasn't a matter of telling people like my family or my job, hey, can I go on this? I just told them, hey, I'm going to go on this. I think the only doubt that came in, and this is something that will constantly be on my mind, is why I'm doing this, the intention behind it. So I think I've got a lot of advice from a lot of my friends and family, and it's always been the same thing. It's just make your intention over and over again, no matter how often you do it. Just keep making that intention. So that was the only thing, is like, am I doing it for the right purpose? Am I doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? But alhamdulillah, it's been a crazy journey thus far, and I'm just honored to be part of this mission.
Can I ask, you said you just told your family and work and your friends that you're going. How did people react? Did you get pushed back? Did people tell you it's not worth it?
Alhamdulillah, my support system around me are very supportive and very I guess they have humanity and they have a heart. They knew that if someone told me don't do this, I wouldn't listen. I would still go ahead and do this, because it's more than just a flotilla. It's more than just a few ships sailing with some aid. This is civilians, ordinary people, taking action in their own hands. When governments and leaders have failed the people of Palestine, have failed humanity, who have allowed the bloodshed, the murder and massacre of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, it's to show the people that we don't need these leaders, we don't need these governments, we need ourselves to take action. At the end of the day, and we're going to be held accountable for our own actions and what we do. So I want to make sure that I'm doing what I can do in my best ability for the people of Palestine. Alhamdulillah, this opportunity was granted to me, so why wouldn't I take that?
Alhamdulillah, Allah reward you, bro. I think you make it sound a lot easier than a lot of us make it out to be sometimes. Maybe we overthink things, and it's easier to just do things without, I guess, asking too many questions. I can see in the comments coming through on YouTube, a lot of your friends and a lot of family coming in and commenting and dropping a lot of comments of support and dua for you. So, there's definitely, as you said, a lot of support behind you. And if anyone is following, please do feel free to ask any questions in the comments, and I'll try to keep track and include them where we can, and make sure that you follow and subscribe as well, because it does help the work that we're doing. Abubakir, tell me about the journey that you've been on so far. So you arrived in Spain initially, and then what happened from there?
Yes, so I got accepted for the flotilla, and in about 72 hours I was on a plane to Barcelona. Alhamdulillah, landed in Barcelona, and I got to meet the rest of the team that was sailing from Barcelona, including a majority of the Australians. We had several days of training while in Barcelona. Obviously, it's a complex mission, so we need to make sure everyone's on board in terms of what we're doing and how the protocols work and all this stuff. Alhamdulillah, then we sailed on the 31st. We sailed from Barcelona to Tunis in Tunisia. There we were welcomed by a huge crowd of people. I was Well, let me talk about Barcelona first, because Barcelona was a shock to me. I was shocked to see tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people came out to show solidarity for the mission. It was huge. It was beyond words. And even on I was there on a Wednesday, just a random Wednesday after training, 7 p.m. There was a huge demonstration for Palestine. So the people of Spain and even the government now have shown where they stand. They stand in solidarity with the Palestinians. But Tunisia, that's another level. That's another level of solidarity. We were welcomed with open arms. And when we were attacked twice by drones, the people of Tunis came to the beaches at 1 a.m. with flares, and they said, if you attack these boats, you are attacking us. They were ready. The people of Tunis were ready to do whatever it takes to protect the boats.
Allahu Akbar.
It was incredible. I just wish that governments had the same level of solidarity and the same level of spine and I guess solidarity as well.
There's a lot to talk about with what happened in Tunis. Let me just go back to Barcelona for a moment, because once we start with Tunis and what happened there, I think we'll spend a lot of time there. Barcelona, you said you did some training. What did that involve? Who was running this training? What sort of things did they go through with you guys? Tell us about that.
So it was about, I think, a 2-day training course, 2-3-day training course. Obviously, go through, for a lot of people, it was their first time on a boat, and for a long distance, you need to be able to know how a boat operates and day-to-day activities. But our main training was in non-violence, right? At the end of the day, we're a humanitarian mission. We're a non-violent mission. Our goal is to break the siege on Gaza. Our goal is to deliver critical aid to a population facing a genocide. So we need to make sure that we're all on board what non-violent training is and what a non-violent mission is like. Non-violence is incredibly powerful, especially in a mission like this. But it sucks that we have to go through a training session like this, because we know the brutality of the Israeli forces. We know what extent they will go to destroy a mission like this and to hinder acts of solidarity and acts of humanity. Being an Australian, it was really important for me to advocate that, hey, I'm an Australian on this mission, because we've had Australian humanitarian aid workers, like, for example, the one last year who was killed by Israel. So they will not discriminate. Against anyone. They will kill, because this is what they do best, and this is their goal: is to kill anything, whether it's human life, or to kill love, or to kill resistance. They will kill anything that they possibly can. So it was maintaining our core mission as a non-violent humanitarian mission with the goal of breaking the siege on Gaza.
You mentioned so you're in Barcelona and you departed from there. You sailed for a few days and then you arrived in Tunisia. Tell me more about Tunis, because I've always heard about the North Africans and the love that they have for Palestine. I remember meeting an old Algerian Hajj once, and when he heard that I was Palestini, he kissed my head and he was kissing me all over, and he said that on my passport it doesn't say Jazairi, it says Jazair Palestini, like Jazair, like Algeristinian or whatever you want to. And there's a lot of love. You always hear it that the North Africans love Palestine. Tell me about what you saw over there.
Well, I felt like everyone knew I was part of the flotilla, because they were like, "Oh, you're on that boat. You're on that boat." So
you're like a celebrity walking through.
As soon as they found that we were part of the flotilla, it's just like a whole nother level of respect and solidarity that they showed. Palestinian flags everywhere. There was more Palestinian flags than Tunisian flags that I saw. Everyone was, supporting the cause. I remember the day that we set sail from Tunis. They actually shut down the roads, because there was that many people that they shut down some of the main roads because it was just clogged up. For me to go from one point, like my hotel, to another meeting point, it usually took me 20 minutes. On the day they were leaving, it took me almost 2 hours to get there.
Allahu Akbar.
Imagine how many people came out, young, old, and it was this I guess subhanAllah, a very different view than what's happening in Barcelona. With Barcelona, it was love and solidarity for the Palestinian people because they are Palestinians and they are humans and human life is sacred. But in Tunis, it was love and solidarity for the Palestinians because we are Muslim and they are Muslim, and they were not shy to hide that identity. At the end of the day, these are our brothers and sisters that are being massacred, that are being murdered. So it was a different love, a different passion that came out with their chants, with their attitude. It was incredible.
Subhanallah, it's amazing. And when you describe that solidarity, I think one of the things that stands out is just the that concept of just being one ummah. And I was listening to one of the organizers from Tunisia, I believe, who was talking about the Sumud convoy that they tried with, and then they got stopped in Egypt, and now the Sumud Flotilla that they've organized, a large part of it from Tunis and Libya and so on, and really just emphasizes that point that we are one ummah, that even if our governments get in the way, even if our nations stop us from doing this, we will continue no matter what. Subhanallah. Talk me through what life is like on the boats. You started off and you've been sort of thrown around in the kitchen, and I can hear the wind in the background. What's it like? Like, how many boats are there? How many of you are on each boat? What's happening on the boat? Talk me through it.
So right now there are 50 vessels sailing, making this the biggest ever attempt to break the siege on Gaza. Each boat is a bit different. We have some smaller boats, we have some bigger boats. On our boat, we got 20 people. We got 22 people, alhamdulillah. A wide range of people from just ordinary activists to politicians to community workers. So we're a diverse group, alhamdulillah. It's a very beautiful group. We've formed a very beautiful friendship. And you do, because you're in tight quarters with everyone, so you've got to have to build some good relationships. Otherwise there's no personal space on a boat like this, on a boat of this size. So day to day, we do a lot of training, a lot of interviews. I've been doing a lot of interviews with news outlets based in Australia and across the world, just making sure that we're up to date with our training. And obviously a boat requires a lot of maintenance to continue sailing, so sometimes people are on night shift, sometimes people are steering the vessel as well. It's I thought it would be a bit boring, we'd be sitting all day, but actually quite an intense day-to-day program that we have.
Abubakir, those of us who know you in Sydney know the role that you played in the encampment at Sydney Uni, where the students took a stand against the university's ties with genocide. And you spent, 2 months at the university? Was it a bit less than that?
44
how does this compare?
Well, at least I've got a bed. At least I don't have a tent over my head. Look, this is a different challenge, different environment, different, I guess, adversities that we experience. But yeah, I have some of the knowledge that I picked up on the encampment comes to play here, especially when it comes to protecting the vessel and protecting the people on the vessel. Obviously, we have to stay watch for potential sabotage, potential attacks. Unfortunately, there's already been 2 attacks on the flotilla. We are expecting more to come. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to come. But nothing's going to stop us. Nothing's going to slow us down. We're going to continue, because at the end of the day, there are people in Gaza that are waiting on us, that are relying on us. And we want to break the siege. And we will break the siege, inshallah. If not now, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll keep going.
Inshallah. Talk me through Tunis. You said you mentioned the boats that got attacked, and we all heard about it, and we were shocked when we heard the news. What happened?
Yeah. So on the first night that were in Tunis, I believe the first night or second night, the family vessel, which is one of the main vessels, part of the flotilla, was attacked by a drone. There were about 6 people, I believe, that were on the boat at the time. A drone had dropped something near the fuel tank, and alhamdulillah, people had fire extinguishers nearby and they were able to turn off that fire immediately. But this was a very serious attack, because not only was it an attack on the flotilla, it was an attack on Tunisia, and it was an attack on Portugal because the vessel was flying under the Portugal flag. Coast
And it was
Guard,
definitely an attack.
it was definitely attack. Anyone that says it's not, I don't know what to say. There was multiple eyewitnesses. There was multiple cameras that saw it was an attack. These ideas of it being a cigarette butt or a flare being shot at is beyond ridiculous. It was very, very evident of a drone attack. Multiple drones have attacked the flotilla in the past. This fits the pattern of drone attacks. The Coast Guard said that it wasn't a drone attack, but the eyewitnesses and the security footage says otherwise.
It was definitely, from what we can tell, a Zionist drone, an Israeli drone that attacked with some sort of inflammable.
We don't know exactly what type of drone. We don't know where it came from. We don't know who was behind the drone. So we can't come to the conclusion. It's easy to say it's an Israeli drone because who else would be behind it? But
absolutely,
we can't confirm that it was an Israeli drone. And then the following night, Alma, which is another vessel, one of the other main vessels, was also attacked. There was 8 people on that vessel at the time. Alhamdulillah, people were able to extinguish the fire as well, so no one was harmed. But yeah, it was very, very serious to have two attacks back to back on a non-violent mission.
Talk me through your emotions on the ground in Tunis at the time. I know there were some delays with the flotilla departing afterwards. How were people responding? How did people feel? Did everyone want to continue? Did it shake you guys? What happened?
Well, when I first heard of the attack, I was a bit shocked. I was like, why are we being attacked here in Tunisia? Like, we're so far away. What makes us, what makes us a target right now? But it should be even if we're right on the shores and we got attacked, it should be a surprise to everyone, because a humanitarian mission delivering aid to a people facing a genocide should not be attacked, regardless of where they're situated. So, but it was a shock to me that we were attacked. It did scare a few people, and some people were like, I don't know if I could continue. But most people were aware of what we're getting ourselves into. For me, it was like, attack all you want. Like, honestly, attack all you want. I couldn't care less. My goal is to reach Palestine, and if they want to attack, they can attack, but it's not going to slow me down. It's not going to slow the mission down, because we know we are on the right side of history, and we know what we're doing is right. So the mission will continue regardless of how many drone attacks come, regardless of what propaganda is shot at us. We'll continue this mission until we reach Gaza.
Inshallah. Is that the attitude of everyone who you've seen around you on the flotilla? Has everyone continued on? Have people dropped off?
100%. Everyone that I've spoken to, they're like, what's there to lose? What's there to lose? Hundreds of thousands of people are being massacred, are being slaughtered in Gaza. Our government can't even get a tin of baby formula in. A tin of baby formula in. Why would we give up when the Palestinians are sitting on the beach in Gaza and they say, we're waiting for you guys? Who are we to say, who are we to backs to them? Who are we to say we'll give up? They are relying on us, and at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about the people of Gaza. It's about the people of Gaza, the resilience, the resistance that they have. Who are we to say we are Palestinian activists, but we can't even have an ounce of that resilience? We can't even have an ounce of the attitude that they have. So bring your drones, do whatever you want, but we're not going to give up. We're going to sail, and we'll sail today and tomorrow and every day till we break the siege of Gaza.
Allahu Akbar, Abubakir. It's moving to hear you say this, because we all know the risks that are involved, with the flotilla, and we know the barbarity of what we're facing. Talk to me about what you guys are delivering. Like, what's the purpose of this? Is to deliver aid to Gaza. What are you guys bringing into Gaza?
So each vessel that is part of this mission, all 50 vessels, is carrying aid. We're carrying basic aid such as rice and dry goods like beans and lentils and things like that. We're also carrying medical kits medication, medical supplies that they need. We're also carrying baby formula, a lot of baby formula, in fact. This is something that has been requested specifically by the Palestinian people because babies right now are dying simply because they don't have any food. And this was a huge thing for us to bring baby formula to this mission. Right now, 1 in 5 children in Gaza City are malnourished, so baby formula was very, very important. So we're bringing as much aid as we can, but it's mainly food and medical supplies.
And one of the criticisms that some people say is how much aid can there possibly be on one boat? Even if there are 50 boats, what difference does it make? How would you respond to that?
You need to look at the whole picture. This flotilla isn't just about delivering aid to Gaza. It's a lot more than that. It's once we reach Gaza's shores, we are announcing a humanitarian corridor has opened. This means we will go back and get more aid and we'll come back and deliver aid. We'll do this on repeat for as long as we possibly need. This isn't a one mission. This isn't we're going to deliver aid and khalas, the siege continues. No, we are breaking the siege. The goal of this flotilla is to break the siege, to announce that a humanitarian corridor has opened up, allow the people to deliver aid to the people that are facing a genocide, and tell the government to do your part. It shouldn't be left up to ordinary civilians to be on flotilla. Navy should have been sent out decades ago to break this siege. But unfortunately, most of our government are cowards, and they go to sleep with the sound of babies screaming from hunger. They find this as if it's their lullaby. But it's anyone with an ounce of humanity will do whatever they can to bring aid to Gaza. So once we deliver aid to Gaza, inshallah, we are announcing the opening of a humanitarian corridor. We'll bring more aid, inshallah, and we'll continue to put pressure on our governments to end their complicity, to sanction Israel, and to bring an end to this genocide.
Abubakir, you referenced the emotional scenes that we've all seen from Gaza, where they've sent out videos to the flotilla saying that they're waiting for you to arrive. Do you believe that you will reach the shores of Gaza?
Of course I do. Of course I do. There is not a single shadow of doubt in my mind. I truly, truly believe with my heart that we will reach the shores of Gaza, because we've got the du'as of the Palestinians with us, and we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with us. What else do we need? What else do we possibly need? Right? And if we don't reach Gaza now, we'll surely reach Gaza in the future. Because at the end of the day, the oppressed cannot stay oppressed. They will become victorious. So some people might sound optimistic. There's no optimism here when you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your side. There's only the truth. And we will reach the shores of Gaza, inshallah. And if we don't do it now, inshallah, in the future.
Talk to me about that. If we don't do it now, we've seen some of the previous attempts, some that have been detained. Obviously, the ones that have been attacked with the drones at the moment. What have you guys been preparing? Your contingency plans, the worst case scenarios? What are some of the things that you might be expecting the Zionists to do?
Yeah, so we're expecting. Obviously, our main focus is that we reach the shores of Gaza, we deliver aid, we announce an opening of the humanitarian corridor. But we need to think about some other factors here as well. Unfortunately, there's been a track record of drone attacks. So we've planned, what happens in a drone attack. There's a lengthy, list of times that it was intercepted and people were kidnapped and abducted on international waters. So we're planning for that as well. We're planning for unfortunately other countries that may intercept us as well. So there are several other, paths that this flotilla may take. But I'm focusing on the path of breaking the siege. And inshallah, we succeed in that path.
May Allah keep it all safe. May Allah protect you all. May Allah allow you to reach Gaza. And wallahi, as you said, we have that faith in Allah Azza wa Jalla that He will allow you to reach there. There's something that you said to us as you departed, and you said that we shouldn't, focus or repeat this line of the Zionists attacking and intercepting the boats to not normalize this concept. And we should normalize the fact that the flotilla should reach Gaza. Can you speak to that for our audience? Like, what should our focus be on as an international audience?
Yeah. Well, because firstly, we're a humanitarian mission. We have all rights under international law to sail to Gaza, to deliver aid to the people of Gaza. We are a non-violent mission, meaning we don't carry any weapons, we do not believe in violence here, we will not participate in any violent acts. So any act against a humanitarian mission, a non-violent mission, delivering aid to people facing a genocide is abnormal and it's shameful. And it's a crime under international law. Not that international law means anything these days, but it's a crime under international law to intercept any of our boats. We have the right, the full right to sail to Gaza. Just like how the Palestinians have the full right to self-determination, just how they have the right to be free from a genocide. So this idea that we are going to get intercepted is not a normal idea, it's not a normal concept. So if we do get intercepted, this should be alarm bells running through your head, like a humanitarian mission is being intercepted. And this is the main focus. We don't want to focus on people thinking, this is going to get intercepted and that's it. No, we get intercepted. It's not a normal act at all.
And just to update for anyone who's joining us live and who's joining late, Abubakir is with us. He's live from one of the boats on the Freedom Flotilla, sailing from Tunisia towards Gaza. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll be arriving within the next sort of week or two, depending how conditions go. So make sure for anyone who's tuning in to like and subscribe and keep up to date with our updates everywhere, where we're trying to raise awareness about the Sumud Flotilla. Abubakir, you've mentioned the possible attacks that can happen on the boat, the possible ways that it can be derailed. If that happens, is it a failure?
No, it's not a failure. This mission goes beyond just delivering aid, as I mentioned. It's about bringing attention to a genocide that's taking place. It's about putting pressure onto people, onto governments to put some action into place and to bring an end to this genocide. But for me, look, I'm not a sailor. I have no sailing experience. I'm not a politician. I'm not a leader of any sort. I'm just an ordinary civilian. For me, it's to show people that you as an individual have power. You as an individual have skills. You as an individual have abilities that you can put towards the people of Palestine, and you can put towards bringing an end to this genocide. I'm just an ordinary person on this boat. Anyone could be on a boat like this. Everyone has a part to play in the liberation of Palestine. Every single person has a part to play. So for me, my part, what it means to be successful is to teach people and for people to make themselves aware that, hey, you can actually do something for the people of Palestine beyond du'as and beyond donations, beyond solidarity. There's more that you can do. Actual tangible acts. You just got to think a little bit more creatively. Got to be a little bit more organized, and you can do your part. For some people, it's huge, right? Some people can do crazy things for the people of Palestine. For some people, it's something small, but everyone can do something. At least do something for the people of Palestine.
Can you talk to me about sacrifice? You said that we all can do something, but we also need to be willing to sacrifice. I'm sure you'd agree. Talk to me about that, how that plays in and how that plays into your decision. Obviously, you're accepting a great deal of sacrifice by being there. How does that play into your thought process?
For me, okay, let me kind of explain. I guess for me, sacrifice is the concept of sacrifice. I don't see it as sacrifice. Like sacrifice is giving something where it's hard to give up, right? Like donating is kind of like a sacrifice because you're giving something that's hard to give up. It shouldn't be hard to give for the sake of humanity, for the sake of Palestine, right? You shouldn't have to second guess it. I think some people, and I think this is where I guess there are some issues in the communities. We're very reactive. We're not proactive, right? So when something happens, we put 110% into it, and then that's when we're actually sacrificing a lot, and then we burn out. This is a marathon, right? Palestine has been occupied for decades now. It's not going to be liberated from 1 or 2 weeks of hardcore action. It requires consistency. It requires you to constantly water the plants of resistance and liberation. So be real with yourself and say, okay, I have these skills, I have these abilities. Let me channel these abilities and these skills to the people of Palestine in a manner that I do not burn out, in a manner that I can continue. For me, this is a big sacrifice, right? Like I've left my family, I've left my job. I'm on a boat for, it's been like I don't know how many weeks. It's a month-long thing for me, but I know that I have the ability to do that. So everyone's in a different situation, and I'm never here to judge anyone. Some people have the ability to do just to us, but if that's their ability, if that's the only thing that they can do, then that's enough. But if you can do more than that, then why not? Go ahead and do more than that.
You mentioned that you've had to sacrifice time from your family, from work, your comfort, but there's a bigger risk here, isn't there? May Allah Azza wa Jal protect you, and may He envelop you in His infinite mercy and love and blessings. But there's a risk on your life. How do you conquer that fear, that sacrifice? Do you think about it?
I do think about it. I do. Like the reality of us being killed, it's a possibility. It really is a possibility. Because the humanitarian workers have been killed before. The flotilla has been attacked where people have been killed before. But for me, it's a hard question to answer because obviously I'm not in this mindset of like, okay, like just take me out, I'm ready to go. It's not that. It's if I die on a mission like this, I've won. I've honestly won. Like I've won the lottery at that point. For me, it's like I don't fear death. Why should I fear death? Especially in a situation like this, why should I fear death? I know that I am doing something for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of the ummah, for the sake of my brothers and sisters. And if death comes in this path, so be it, So at the end of the day, every single human life is sacred, right? My life, not more sacred than the lives of the Palestinians, the innocent children that are being slaughtered and massacred and being brilliated, right? My life is not worth more than the mothers who are crying because they can't breastfeed their child. My life is not more sacred than the people who have lost family and friends and have lost everything. My life is not more sacred than them. So if my life is lost, then so be it. As long as I have died knowing where I've stood, knowing that I've stood on the right side of history, knowing that when my people were being massacred, were being slaughtered in broad daylight, and our leaders have turned their back against them, at least I can say I tried. I did something. But will these leaders be able to do the same when they die? Will our governments be able to do the same when they die? Or will they stand on the day of judgment and look at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, yep, I did nothing. I allowed innocent people to be slaughtered, to be massacred. I allowed children to die. I manufactured weapons for children to be shot at. This is the governments that rule this world. And I will not allow them to represent me. I will not allow them to represent my solidarity, and will not allow them to represent where I stand. Because I stand with my ummah, I stand with my brothers and sisters, I stand with the side of humanity.
Subhanallah. May Allah Azza wa Jal protect you all. Do you picture yourself standing before Allah Azza wa Jal? Do you picture the people of Gaza on the other side? Did that play a role in your decision?
It's always plays a role for me. Always plays a role for me. And like for me, it was like when the genocide started, I did whatever I could in my ability, to support, whether it was donating or boycotting or using my social media skills to create some videos and things like that. But one of my biggest fears is that on the day of judgment, I stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I stand in front of the martyrs, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what did you do for the people of Palestine? And the martyrs say, what did you do for us? And I say nothing. That is truly one of my biggest fears. I don't want to be that person that stands on their judgment and says, I did nothing. So it's taking, I guess, some accountability. For a lot of us, it's easy to push the blame onto our governments and our leaders, and rightfully so. We should push the blame onto them because they should be held accountable. But we shouldn't do it to a point where we free ourselves and we clean our hands and be like, oh, we're free from anything. No, we'll be held accountable as well, right? We have our own abilities. Yes, we might not have the abilities that our leaders and governments have, but we have our own abilities. So if we focus on what we can do for the people of Palestine, then that should be important.
SubhanAllah, if I could just share one comment. There's a story that sticks out to me, and I hope this provides you a bit of inspiration and motivation as well. Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, he was in prison, and every Jummah, he would follow the sunnah of Jummah. He'd wear his best clothes, he'd have a bath, he'd make his intention, and try to go out to pray Jummah. And every Friday, he'd be stopped by the prison guards and told, go back to your cell. And eventually they asked him, why do you bother doing this every week when you know that we're sending you back to your cell? And he said that because I know that Allah has commanded me to pray Jummah. So I'm doing my part. I'm setting my intention. I'm going as far as I can. And if you stop me, that's on your neck. So at least I'm doing everything that I can to fulfill that obligation. And when he described to me, I guess the question that's going through my mind is, have I done everything that I can to reach as far as I can, to sacrifice for Gaza? So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and keep you all steadfast, and may He keep your intention pure for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Abu Bakr, talk to me about Gaza. What do you hope, when you reach the shores of Gaza, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, what are you looking forward to seeing? What's your message going to be to the people of Gaza?
I think the first thing is an apology. I think we all deserve them an apology for not doing, I guess, enough. So my first thing is to apologize to them and ask for their forgiveness. I remember seeing du'as, videos of them making du'as against us, against the people, saying that the people have turned their back against them. And this is scary because their du'as will be accepted. So if they're asking for us to be punished, that's a shame on our part. So the first thing is for forgiveness, and inshallah, ya Rab, they forgive all of us. But I'm looking forward to showing them that the people have not forgotten them, the ummah has not forgotten them. Yes, these leaders have turned their back, but the people will never turn their back. The people will always stand with them and show them solidarity, inshallah. So, yeah, I think the first thing was first thing would be an apology, and second is to show that we stand with you, and we'll always stand with you until every square inch of Palestine is free.
And subhanAllah, despite how much suffering they've gone through, they're still so appreciative of every little bit of action, aren't they?
It's amazing, I've received messages and videos from people in Gaza saying we're waiting for you, like literally, like saying, yeah, Abu Bakr, we're waiting for you on the beach. Like, how amazing is that, like, and I know it's not about me, it's about the people of Gaza, but it's to know that their hope is still alive who are we to give up on them? Honestly, there are some people that drive me insane. They're like, oh, like we can't do anything, but they still have so much hope. So who are we to turn our backs against them? So it keeps me going. It really keeps me going, knowing that there are people in Gaza that are waiting for us, that are expecting us, and we will reach the shores, inshallah.
بإذن الله, Abu Bakr, please, when you do arrive, do pass on our salams and our apologies from the community in Sydney, from the community in Australia. Wallahi, it's a noble effort, and you're carrying our community's hopes on your back. What message do you have for the community back in Australia?
Firstly, I love you guys so much. Honestly, I really do love you guys so much. I felt the love and support. It's truly beyond words, knowing that people have rallied up behind me to show support, to show solidarity, and it's actually been a very surprising thing for a lot of people as well. Being the only Muslim from Australia that's on this mission. We had Yusuf Omar, who was on this mission, but unfortunately he's left, so I'm the only Muslim from Australia standing. There are other people who are like, wow, like you have a whole community supporting you. They were very surprised by that. And we take this for granted, being Muslims, we just take this stuff for granted. So I'm very appreciative of all the love and support and solidarity. But obviously this is more than just me and the flotilla. This is for the people of Gaza. So keep doing what you can for the people of Gaza. Keep pushing, keep putting pressure on your government, on your leaders to do something, and put pressure on yourself. Hold yourself accountable, and do whatever you can. But a particular message for, I guess, the flotilla here is all eyes on the global Sumud Flotilla. Keep updated with where we're heading. The more eyes, the more witnesses that are watching the flotilla, the safer our mission becomes. So keep updated. You can go to Global Sumud Flotilla website, and you can find the tracker as well. You can track our movements, and pressure your government, pressure your MPs, put as much pressure as you can on them, and demand safe passage for us. Demand that Israel gives us safe passage. Because if Israel was to intercept us or attack us, this is a crime under international law. So demand a safe passage. Let them know that we have people from 44 countries on this flotilla. So message or email or call your government or your MP, whatever it may be, and tell them demand safe passage. We've had 16 countries who have put out statements of support for the flotilla, have requested a safe passage, but 16 is not enough. We need every single country behind us. So that's my main message, inshallah.
And what's your message to the government, to Albanese, to Penny Wong? What do you have to say to them? We will make sure your message reaches them.
Yes. I'll keep it PG, inshallah. My message to Penny Wong and Anthony Albanese is you guys have been complicit in the murder and massacre of tens of thousands of Palestinians. The blood of the dead children are on your hands. The blood of the dead women and men are in your hands. You have been complicit this entire time, even when our own Australian humanitarian worker was massacred, was slaughtered. You guys remained complicit, and you guys are still complicit. Now you have 8 Australian civilians on this flotilla. You are well aware that we are on this flotilla. So you have 2 options here. Option 1 is you remain complicit in this genocide, and you allow the flotilla to be blocked. Or option 2 is you grow a spine and you do what any human being would do and demand safe passage for the flotilla. Allow us to deliver the critical aid to a population facing a genocide. Our leaders at the Australian government love to sit there and say, human life is so sacred. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. You have Australian civilians, you have Australian citizens on this boat. Protect us. If you care about us so much, protect us and allow our flotilla to reach the shores of Gaza and allow us to deliver aid to a population facing a genocide. Allow us to do the work that you're not willing to do because you guys are so cowardly.
And what are the specific things that they can do to help protect you? Is it a statement of support from Australia? Is it what else can they do? What are you actually calling the government to do?
I'm pressuring them to demand, to put pressure on Israel to demand a safe passage for the flotilla, to sanction Israel, to suspend the Israeli ambassador, to put an end to any complicity in this genocide. The UN has officially announced that what's happening in Gaza is a genocide. Australia has no excuse at this point. No excuse. The Australian government doesn't represent the Australian people. It's been proven time and time again where the Australian people stand. 300,000 people rocked up on a rainy day to Sydney Harbour Bridge to show solidarity with Palestine. The Australian people stand with Palestine. Will the government truly represent our values as Australians? Let's see if they can put their money where their mouth is.
Abubakir, we will make it our mission to, inshallah, amplify that call as far as we can and to make sure that we put as much pressure on our government. And inshallah, a call to everyone. We've got 130 people here watching live, and inshallah, thousands more who will watch this video. Make sure that you pressure your governments wherever you are to protect this flotilla. It's not just about the flotilla. As much as we love our brothers and sisters that are there on the boat, it's also about the people of Gaza. And as you said, establishing that land corridor that goes from the rest of the world towards Gaza so that we can supply them with the food and resources that they need to keep them going. Abubakir, what else can we do to support you? We can pressure our governments. What else are the things that you're calling on from the supporters back home and all over the world?
Number one is your du'as. Nothing more powerful than the power of du'a. So your constant du'as, that would be highly appreciated. Keeping track of our movements on the tracker, and keeping updated with the flotilla as well. More people who are, watching the flotilla and its movements, the safer a mission like this becomes. To demonstrate, organize a demonstration in support of the flotilla. Do whatever you can in your ability. We will reach Gaza soon, inshallah. We're a couple of weeks away, so now we're entering a critical time. So we need all hands on deck to show support and to, inshallah, allow us to reach the shores of Gaza.
Inshallah, we have 130 people on this live, and I want to ask you all, not for my sake and not for our channel, but for the sake of Abubakir and everyone on the boat, to please like and share this video, because the more eyes on the flotilla, and not just this video, but all of the platforms that are highlighting the flotilla, please do share as far and wide as you can. Abubakir, I've got a few questions from the live, if you don't mind me asking them.
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
just going to sort of pop them on, and please, as much as you can, details people want to know. There's a question here: do you think it's feasible that the IDF can actually hijack over 30 boats? And if it's feasible, what do you think is the worst case scenario?
It's very, very feasible for them to hijack all of our vessels. Very feasible. They're right now recruiting. They have a special, force. I forgot what the title of the force is that specifically acts in water. They don't have enough people to hijack all the vessels, but they have enough military personnel to put into that team to hijack. We've seen what they're able to do in Gaza. We've seen what they've been able to do in the rest of Palestine. So hijacking 50 vessels is very easy for them, especially when they have support from the US.
I have a question from Akandi. What is the name of your vessel for the tracker? Is that something that you can share with us so that we can follow your journey?
Sure. My vessel is the Spectre. It's called the Spectre. So you might notice that our boat is a little bit following a little bit of a different track, but soon we will link up with the rest of the flotilla, inshallah. So yeah, I'm on the Spectre. Family and Alma are one of the main boats as well, carrying a lot of the key figures like Greta Thunberg and some politicians, as well as journalists.
On the note, Abubakar, I've got a question from Abdul who's asking, why did some people leave the flotilla? I know you just mentioned Greta, you mentioned attacks on the boats. You mentioned earlier that Brother Yusuf from Australia, may Allah protect him, also left, and we were told there were some strategic decisions. Why did some people leave the flotilla?
Look, a mission like this is very, very complex, right? Something, a mission that, requires you to organize 50 vessels sailing to Gaza requires years of planning, to be honest. But mashallah, the team has been able to put it together in a few months. There's been some delays, I'll be honest, there has been some delays, and some people weren't anticipating for these delays. So they had to return back to home, they had to return back to work. They were only, they only took a certain period of time off, so they had to make the decision to go back. Some people, unfortunately, didn't feel safe after the attacks, and some people have left to work on ground because they believe that their role is better to be on ground. So yeah, there are a numerous amount of reasons, and unfortunately, obviously, one of the biggest things is our safety, the safety of the vessels. So there were some vessels that didn't meet our safety requirements, so we didn't actually sail with them. And the people that were attending, that were meant to be on that boat, unfortunately, weren't able to sail either. So we had to reduce the numbers. At the end of the day, our safety is the number one priority here. So that's why I guess some people have left the flotilla.
There's a question from Fergan asking, how long until you get to Gaza? When can we expect to receive the good news that your aid has reached Gaza?
I would like to know this as well. I don't have an actual date. There are a lot of factors that can have to be taken into consideration. Obviously, the ocean's conditions are very important. The conditions of our boats. We can only go as fast as our slowest vessel, so it will take a little while before we can get a really good estimate. I've personally set the estimate about 2 weeks, but this is just a personal estimate. I could be wrong. It could be earlier, it could be later. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe end of September, maybe early October, we'll reach Gaza.
Okay. And we have to keep all eyes on the boat for the next week, 10 days, 12 days until you reach Gaza in the night.
Yes.
I've got a request that's come through a couple of times. Can you show us the lovely views of the sea behind you? Not many people get to sail the Mediterranean.
Okay.
Can you show us what it looks like?
Sure. Let me show you. Let me do this as best of my abilities because it is crazy weather right now.
Don't drop your phone.
So I will try not to die. I don't know if I can switch I don't think I can switch the camera on this. So I guess I'll show you like this. So very, very blue. I don't know if you guys can see. Very, very blue waters. As you can see, quite harsh as well. SubhanAllah. Yeah, beautiful waters. SubhanAllah, there is nothing quite like the ocean. Really, there is nothing quite like the ocean. Especially praying Fajr on this boat has been incredible. Watching the sunrise of the ocean, it's like the beach has always been one of my happy places. So to be surrounded by the ocean has been amazing. Except the days when I'm seasick, but okay, inshallah.
And how is the seasickness? Have you been spewing up while you're on the boats?
So today I was really feeling it because today was quite harsh, and I was like, I don't know if I can go do this interview, but alhamdulillah, I feel good. Yeah, but like it the first day was very, very harsh. We had like 5-meter waves, so I was like holding it back, not trying to spew anywhere. But eventually your body does get used to it, gets used to the movement. But yeah, it has been a bit intense, alhamdulillah.
And have you been fishing off the side of the boat or?
No, actually we have a lot of people with fish allergies, so.
Oh wow, okay.
So no fishing.
Okay, interesting. SubhanAllah. Abubakar, we're getting a lot of comments from some of our brothers and sisters from our organizations in Australia. Some of the brothers from Australia Islamic House have commented. Sheikh Mukhlis is with us and he's made some dua for you in the comments. So I just want to know that the community in Australia loves you and is supporting you and is showing the support even on the stream. And if anyone is on here in the comments, please do feel free to drop a message of support, because I'm sure that Abubakar will be scrolling through this when he can't sleep at night as the waves are rocking back and forth. So please do feel free to share your comments of love and support. let's see what other questions there are here. People asking, how can we follow the tracker? How can we follow your boat?
So if you go to the Global Sumud Flotilla website, at the top corner, right-hand corner, you'll see something that says tracker. So you click tracker, and you'll be able to track all the boats, all of our movements. And then it gets updated every couple of hours, so you can actually see like the path that we've taken. Our path has been very, very strange, so don't question me as why is our path like this. Our path has been strange, but yeah, you can follow our movements on the website.
Inshallah. And Abubakir, you've mentioned that you're expecting to arrive in about 10 or 12 days, and we will be dropping the links in our comments, and we'll share this on social media and in the description of this video as well once we update it after the stream with all the links to the Sumud Flotilla, with the links to your socials. How can people follow you if they wanted to keep track of your activities?
Yeah, so I'm mainly uploading onto Instagram. I've actually been logged out of my TikTok, so I don't know why. But so Instagram is the best way to get contact with me. So Abubakir Rafiq, very simple. I've been posting updates there. Make sure you also follow Global Sumud Flotilla and the other associated accounts for official updates as well.
Abubakir, we're getting comments from students for Palestine at University of Melbourne who are telling us they're organizing a fundraiser to raise money for the flotilla. So the support is from all over the country.
Alhamdulillah, it's amazing.
I'm just seeing what other questions there are. A brother is asking how Islamic is the vibe of the flotilla. You mentioned you're praying Fajr.
Yes.
And we've heard that there are many Muslims on many of the boats. What's your impression been?
So, alhamdulillah, there's been a really strong Muslim presence on the flotilla. And it's very, very amazing to see that. Actually, one of the key organizers were a group from Malaysia, and may Allah reward them. They've done like incredible work. They actually are the ones that provided all the aid for every single boat. So these aren't just Muslim participants. These are, in the higher roles up, there are a lot of Muslims. Alhamdulillah, within my own boat, we have a lot of Muslims as well, a lot of Muslim brothers as well. So we've been praying Jama'at together. This morning we prayed Fajr together, and we read some Quran together as well. It was very, very beautiful, alhamdulillah. So, and I think it's good because we all have, I guess, a similar reason or the same reason as to why we're here, and it's for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, it's been very, very beautiful to see a lot of brothers and sisters as well, hijabi sisters, and have been part of this mission. It's been incredible, alhamdulillah.
There's a controversial question here. It says that non-Muslims are taking the initiative much more than Muslims. What are your thoughts on this?
Look, this might be the case. But who's to blame here? The non-Muslims or the Muslims? The blame is on us, right? We should be doing more. 100% we should be doing more. And solidarity for human life is not an exclusive club. It's not a club where only Muslims can get in. Everyone should be part of the solidarity for Palestine. Everyone should be part of this. So if someone is questioning whether non-Muslims are doing more than the Muslims, then maybe you should be questioning if you're doing enough, if your community is doing enough, if your masjid is doing enough, if your family is doing enough. You can't put the blame on the non-Muslims for doing the work that our community isn't willing to do.
And I'm sure this will not be the last flotilla that sails to Gaza. Do you recommend people join the next effort?
Inshallah, it is the last flotilla, and we don't have to have another flotilla ever again. But if it is, absolutely join. Don't second guess it, right? If you are sitting there thinking, non-Muslims are doing a lot of this work, white Muslims, then fill up the space. Put yourself on the front line of activism. We need to do that, and it's especially important because when Muslims lead, we lead with Muslim ethics, right? We lead with Muslim character of excellence, character of doing whatever we can for the people of Palestine. So yes, if there's an opportunity to do a flotilla, absolutely join in. Don't second guess it.
Jazakallah khairan. There's a lot of questions coming in, and some of them are things that we have addressed earlier. I know we've been going for an hour, But Abu Bakr, tell us what more messages do you have for people at home? What else? Is there anything else that we haven't discussed that you wish to pass on about your conditions on the boat, about your messages for the ummah, about your messages for the community back home? What do you want to see from people?
I guess, you know, and I say this a lot. I say this all the time, but I will never get sick of saying it until it's actually taken seriously by our community. Is do your parts. Everyone has a part to play in the liberation of Palestine. Every single person, whether you are a doctor flying to Gaza as a on a medical mission, or whether you are a mother teaching your children about the history of Palestine, or whether you're a businessman donating a portion of your profits to Gaza, or whether you're a content creator creating content about Palestine, whatever it may be, everyone has a skill that they can contribute to the people of Palestine. You just got to think, how can I do it? And once you figure it out, then go ahead and do it. But you just need to do your part. Hold yourself accountable before you hold others accountable.
Inshallah ta'ala. May Allah Azza wa Jal reward you, Abu Bakr. You've showed a lot of emotion, but you've demonstrated, I think, the emotions that all of us are feeling. We have comments coming in with support from Ireland, from the UK, from Malaysia, from South Africa, and of course from Australia, all over the country, and all of them are showing love and support. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. May Allah give you victory, and you've really, I think, set an example for us that we need to follow. Like you said, you're an average person. You're just like me and you. You know, we've been sitting down just like any one of us. We were sitting down just weeks ago here in Sydney, here in, but any one of us can make a decision, and you just demonstrated that any one of us can just choose to change the world, can choose to liberate Palestine, and we just have to take that action. Jazakallah khair for joining us. I know that we've had hundreds of people joining, and my request for everyone who's joined in is that you're aware of the struggle. You've heard what Abu Bakr has to say. You've seen the emotion that he feels. He is not doing this without his own risk, without his own sacrifice. And so for the sake of Abu Bakr, if not for the sake of Gaza, then we should have all eyes on the flotilla. We should be sharing the word as much as we can. We should be following on as many platforms as we can. We should be making our voices heard as loudly as we can. And as you said, every person has their own unique way of doing that. So we all need to find our way. We need to find our community, and we need to amplify that sound as much as we can. Jazakallah khairan, Abu Bakr, and may Allah Azza wa Jalla reward you. May He protect you. I'm not going to keep more of your time. I'm sure you've got water to bucket out of the boat, or something or the other to do on that boat. But may Allah protect you. Do keep us updated on how you're going, and we will be following on your socials, as I'm sure everyone in the comments will be. Do you have any final messages?
I guess free Palestine.
Free Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Jazakallah khairan, Abu Bakr, and everyone who's in there, please, feel free to like the message, to like the video, subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of exciting podcasts happening on South Palestine, a lot of exciting guests, and I'm sure we'll have you back on at some point, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot to follow, a lot to discuss over the next week. As you said, it hasn't just been a boring couple of weeks, but there's a lot happening. So Jazakallah khairan for joining us, and thank you everyone who's following. Thank you for all of our followers, and we'll see you all around.
Take care.
Assalamu alaikum. Salam rahmatullah. I'm going to ask you to stay on the channel. He's disconnected. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you for everyone who's following and joined us for the video.